Okay,
Yeah.
so moving on now to a show I've been hearing nothing but praise about, but this people just can't stop talking about this show here, boy. It came out March 20th on Netflix. It's a seven-part docu-series called Tiger King, or well, at least the long title is Tiger King: Murder, Mayhem, and Madness, right? And that's the thing. Just zeroing in on that title for a bit, because in the marketing of this, like every time you hear or read some article about it, you was hearing Tiger King, you was hearing that those two words, right? But
Right.
never the last four words. Well, technically, yeah, four, right? So murder, mayhem, and madness. You never hear that part, right? But that is so much an integral part of the story, but it's easy to get lost with the titular character being Tiger King, right? So I'll just do just a brief synopsis of what's about them. We'll just discuss from here, right? So I know you probably familiar with some of the characters in this, but I knew nothing about this guy. I knew nothing about the case that he was in. I knew nothing going in, right? I just saw this flamboyant looking dude with a tiger, right? That's all I saw. I didn't know anything, right? But assume in your case you probably familiar with some of this, or were you kind of like new to this as I was?
Oh, I okay. So I remember when hearing about the Tiger King story, it was like it was sounding familiar, and then in the middle of the documentary, I remembered why it was sounding familiar. He was on John Oliver. Um, it was a
Oh,
short,
right. That
right,
moment where he was. Well, we get to
right,
that where he was running
yeah,
for president.
right, and that's why I remember. I was like, oh shit, right, it had a dude like this, and it had a whole thing. Because I remember making the joke of, I remember back then, or around that time, I remember making the joke that yeah, if you're gonna have a quote unquote first gay president, he's gonna be more like this dude than say somebody like Peter the Judge. There, like
Right.
it gonna be yeah, it gonna be Joe Exotic, right? It's gonna be that, and that's all I was thinking of is that. But yeah, I was largely ignorant of the story. I didn't know it went that deep, and yeah, it really went deep.
Yeah, that's the thing, boy. This is like the big set. Well, the big thing, big sell of this movie, boy. This is deeper than Rapture. This is literally deeper than Rap, right? So,
Yeah,
what is Tiger King about, right? It centers on well, I was gonna say character, but he's actually a real man, right?
yeah,
Um, it centers on the let us actually say his name, right? Uh, Joseph Maldonado Passage, right?
right,
He currently is the former operator of a animal park in Oklahoma called Greater Wynwood Exotic Animal Park, right?
right.
But today he is, well, slight spoiler, but if you read it up on, if you see the article on it, they will pretty much tell you this. Yeah, he's in federal prison right now. He's serving 22 years, right? And I'll get to why in a bit, right? So yeah, basically he runs his park, right? He is openly gay. He actually revealed that he had two husbands actually.
Right.
And also two he has his own brand basically. He has his own internet show. He has his own, like products and stuff like that. And he's also a country singer, you know what I mean? He actually has a
Yeah.
couple of albums on this belt and some music videos that look kind of not kind of, they do look corny as hell, but song wise, it's like, the man could sing though. But the
Yeah.
big
Right.
thing about him though is that he is a tiger breeder, right? And because of that, he has pretty much been under fire by like organizations like like PETA for like sorry PETA for example, right? Because it's pretty much illegal if you think about it to not just to be breeding tigers right in the United States because tigers are meant to be are meant to roam free in the natural
Right.
habitat, not in America. Just seeing, but he
Right.
just loves tigers so much. And then early on in this series, they kind of reveal how he became so enamored by tigers in the first place. I was like,
Right.
it's so convinced. Like I can't understand. You know what I mean? Because really, what the show zeroes in on cat lovers, right? And what they
Right.
also show in the flip side is that cat lovers are kind of crazy, though. They're kind of crazy. But the ones that they focus on here are just borderline insane, but they just don't know it, right? But anyway, so what the story is about is, well, we learn about Mr. Joseph, right? And he calls himself Exotic, right? And he's building a name for himself, credibility. But there's one person that he just can't stand. You know what I mean? His rival by the name of Carol Baskin, right? And she
Yeah.
has this campaign or called Big Cat Rescue, right? And she also
Right.
have her own, park as well, where she pretty much takes these animals that were in captivity. Well, most of them being, lions and lions and tigers and leopards and stuff like that, and puts them into her own park. Then charges people to come and see them. You know what I mean? But her thing is that, oh well, Jojo Exotic has these really small cages, and how are these animals supposed to survive in these things for years? So come to my park now, and it's pretty much wider spaces, but at the same time they still in cages, right? I mean, I understand, obvious reason you don't want them to run amok, right, or run wild, but at the same time
Yeah.
it's like, but they still in cages too, and that's something that they bring up a lot in the show, right? How basically how much of a hypocrite she is, and the funny thing is like
Yeah.
out of everybody in the show, she
Well,
seems to be the sanest out of all them, the most rational, but at the same
well,
time it's
that's the
like,
thing,
but
right?
you kind of in the same boat like, well,
Kind
the
of.
other everybody else too. You know what I mean?
Right. So this is right. So this was kind of a slightly, well, it's a nicer version of Making a Murderer. You see what Making a Murderer did of making it where everybody sucks.
Yeah,
Nobody innocent in all of this, but it have different degrees of innocent and who deserve what and wherever. And that's what this did. Like I think everybody sucks, but clearly like some people in the wrong, and it's about gaining evidence and whose story is being told here, right? And it
right.
clearly doesn't favor Jew, right? Clearly.
Yeah,
But at
it
the
doesn't.
end,
It doesn't. It doesn't.
yeah, at the
Yeah,
end, how they frame it is like, all right, well, Joe is clearly the victim in all this somehow, even though it's just more a kind of team up effort. Like people just feel it. It's kind of weird and he kind of undeserving of what he get at the end, even though he kind of did. Like
yeah,
they played really good.
yeah,
They played
yeah, yeah.
very sympathetic. And in her case, she comes across as a good guy until they say something about her. I think it's the third episode.
Yep, yep,
Um,
yep. I'll talk about that in the episode.
right.
Yeah,
So yeah, I like what they do to like just frame it everybody as shitty. Like seriously, totally, they have to totally make an American crime story for this now. Like,
I know, right? I know. But in a nutshell, before we get to our review here, pretty much he was accused and eventually charged for a murder for hire because yeah,
right,
he pretty much, well, apparently, hired somebody to kill Carol, right? And a couple other characters involved in this. We have well, one of my favorite characters. Yes, he's a character in this show, called Bhagavan Antle, or Doc for short, right? He pretty
right.
much is a mentor, of Joe. He is a bigger polygamist than Joe is. He has his own stable of women. People kind of assume it's
Right,
a sex cult, basically, because
right.
all these attractive women who
And as yeah,
working at the park, but at the
he
same
kind of
time, it's like, but at the same time, he kind of treats them as, oh, you're my wife now. Like, eventually, I'm gonna sleep with you, and you're gonna be my wife,
right.
so to speak. Now, we also have a character I didn't even see coming. Basically, this former drug dealer who just
Right.
so happens to raise tigers, and well, pretty much tigers basically, right? And somehow he gets involved with Joe's rise to fame, basically, you know what I mean, with finance wise. We also have the guy who pretty much helped produce a reality show based on him by the name of Rick
Right.
Cookham, sorry.
Right. Yeah, there's a guy that working for Inside Edition back in the
Yes, yes,
days.
yes. Yeah, he
Right.
worked at
Right.
this edition, and pretty much he's saying, yeah, this guy is like fucking crazy, right? He's insane.
Right.
But this is like the material that he's looking for. It's like, yeah, like why wouldn't I want to make a reality show based off of this guy? I like a setup
Yep.
basically where it's like he's pretty much doing a reality show. Like he has cameras filming, the internet show and all the other stuff that Joe is doing, behind the scenes basically.
That's kind of the sad part is because uh to me the way how it was framed, it at the time the reality television thing was stuff and was a big deal now. So that was like a lot of money. They could have totally make a show out of it, and it could have been a reality television show in the same vein as a Honey Boo Boo or something. But then you
Yeah,
realize how kind of weird and immoral and or, the real story darker than anything they could show on television. And yeah, it was surprisingly shocking how he himself had a sense of regret of kind of enabling the bullshit. Though.
And last but not least, where we have one of my favorite characters. Yes, I still keep the word character, Jeff Lowboy.
Right.
Who
Yeah.
kind of comes in at a financial moment of crisis for we boy Joe, but then we
Right.
realize this man is just a shady motherfucker, and me,
Yeah.
like he just have a lot of things going on in the side dread, and pretty much becomes the major element of Joe's eventual downfall. So we have
Right.
all these characters involved in this dread, and it's just at first I think it is just about this weird, wild, crazy character, this redneck who toting guns and what I mean, doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like and I would admit he does really mistreat these animals, but he just kind of oblivious to it
Right.
though. But I take it it's just this rivalry going on between him and Carol, right? And then you learn things about Carol, but and I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
And which I'll get to in a bit, yeah. But just to jump into the show here, just to get this out of the way, this is hands down probably the best documentary I've seen in 2020, or the best shows I've seen in 2020, hands down, way. And the simple reason is just the story itself, way. Like
Yeah.
the best way to describe this dread is that you just can't make this shit up. There's just
That's
so much
yeah.
stuff where it's
That,
like, how
this is
this
what
even happen? Like, how this even
yeah.
possible?
This is
Dread?
one of
Like,
those
yeah, it
yeah.
happened.
Yeah, you're right. It's one of those. It's totally one of those true to stranger and fiction kind of stories. Because
Yes.
it could only happen in reality. It's only something that, because of the sheer nature of these people, and there's the confluence of events. Like they have, you want to like about it. It does a big class dimension aspect of it, where Joe this himself kind of slightly predatory in terms of like who his employers are, and you get
Yeah.
to see how sad things are. Like they have a little weird exploit that you don't know, which is a big thing in America, which surprisingly so few people to talk about publicly. But the idea of food and who does get food and white have starvation in the United States
Right.
because of the legalism of it. And they talk about once somebody can't afford food, right? They can't send it back to the shelves, so they have to throw it away. And then you find out that they end up using that for the meat for the animals, which is so sick and disgusting.
It
But
is, boy. It is.
they realize that the employers of the actual park themselves also eat the food, eat the meat. Like
Yeah.
they say no, they eat meat to them now, which is a whole thing. Because you can't give people dumpsters because if they get sick, they could sue you. That's a bullshit.
Of course, yeah, but that was real
Right.
sad though. That was
Yeah.
that moment. Sorry, those moments, because they seem like these guys. They pretty much former convicts now, and they're like, well, yeah,
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean. All this free food from Walmart that can
Yeah.
expire, literally the day afterwards. Well, it come off
No,
the
but that's
shelves.
the
Cool, give it to us.
it's not necessarily bad food, because remember he mentioned how once a customer brings it up or takes it out to the shelf, they can't put it back on the shelf.
Right.
Little things like that now. You have to throw it away. You have to. So
Yeah.
it's not even like bad food. It's like that's the whole point about it now. It's just this weird confluence of the modern capitalism stuff now playing
Yeah.
itself out in ways. And Joe, sorry to say it, but it have a term called late stage capitalism. Yeah, Joe is basically like the embodiment of that shit, right?
Right.
But I just thought it was really fascinating just to watch just an interesting strata of society. Like the woman who got her arm chewed off. She's like a
Yes.
recurring like voice person, and then she
Yeah,
just casual.
and I just like it's just so ironic to it because this show is doused in irony, right? She goes back to work literally 5 days later because she just don't want the media to demonize Joe. So it's like, all right, cool, I make a mistake, whatever. Going back to work, nothing happened, moving on.
Yeah.
That's it. But yeah, boy, this was just such a fascinating show, series I should say, boy. And just I love how each episode pretty much ends where okay, you think this is okay, like you think you get just how things play out, and then you'll just drop something on you. It's like, oh, okay, now I want to see what happens next way. And you see that basically with episode 2, by the way, how they end episode 2, because they make a big reveal about Carol, right? Which I really don't want to spoil. But when they dropped that, I was like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they go into this episode, but now you looking at Carol in a whole different way.
Right,
What I
exactly.
would say though, just two things without spoiling it. One, I can't see for sure what all her rivals accuse her of doing she actually did. But given the whole nature of the show and how weird these characters are,
Right.
it probably is a reality. It probably did happen, right? That's one. And secondly,
Well,
Dren,
yeah, they keep that vague enough because it's something that you ain't gonna know or check anytime soon. So it's not like a issue because she
exactly.
herself
Yeah.
she herself directly addresses it. So it's not unless Carol is a complete sociopath, it's you I can't see it. I don't think it's true, but it could be true. I mean, come on.
Exactly. Given the
Right,
nature of how the thing happened, right? Secondly,
right.
and this is to Drew. I can remember I said, he makes some music videos, right? This man have balls of steel, Dre. Like, for you to come
Yeah,
and make a music video, pretty much accusing your rival of doing this thing, Dre.
yeah,
And this
yeah,
is a music video called "Here Kitty Kitty," Dre. I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
wow, boy. You know how dread you had to be to do that? No, I
Yeah,
was I
yeah,
was shocked when I see that way. Like the song is ridiculous too, and then when they drop that hook, that "Hey kitty kitty," I'm like, wait, that
yeah,
was
hard to
brutal.
do.
That was real brutal. um, but from there though, and I was wondering, okay, where the sugar to go from there? And then eventually kind of see, the whole rise to fame, and then well, the slow descent that we all saw coming, right? But then you saw like just how Joe dealt with it, how he associated himself with people, and how they pretty much screw him over. But then again, it was like they just did it on purpose. Well, kinda. And this is where we had to talk about Jeff. You know what I mean? Because yeah, you know what I mean. Well, Jeff kind of came in and well, he said he had money, but we don't know where the money coming from and all that kind of stuff.
Right, right,
This
right.
is real. I don't want to say funny scene, but it's just dark though, where he's going to Las Vegas and he has a tiger cub in one of his luggage basically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
One of
yeah.
his luggage bag
Yeah,
basically.
big thing
Yeah,
was putting tiger cubs and then impressing women with them, but like making that was a whole business on its own. Just
yeah,
to,
and the man, no, but is the line that he say when, I just paraphrase it here, but there's a line that I hope that I'll never forget, Joe, where he says, "Oh, he just needs a little pussy to get more pussy," or
right,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, right. Yeah,
When
you
I
need
hear
little
that,
pussy.
that just pretty much sum up who he is. Right? The
Yeah,
man, the man, the man, the man's sleazy. Like, let me just get out of the way. He's
right.
sleazy. He's scummy, but is how he react when he found out that he got screwed over by Joe and what Joe did. I don't blame him. This complete meltdown that make perfect sense. Also they touch on Joe's former husbands actually. Um,
Right.
one of whom in
That's the part
particular,
to get that.
yeah, right. Because well, they zeroed on one in particular because yeah, he's just bona fide redneck, trailer trash looking character, right? But then
Right.
when
Yeah.
you understand, well, there were drugs involved, right? It's like, oh, well, kind of no wonder you look the way you do. But then at the same time, when they bring up, oh, that's why they stuck with him. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
oh, okay, so is that whole idea that all right, I have money and I have drugs, so all I just need to do is entice you, right? So at first, it's just the animals themselves. I'm gonna use the animals to entice you to get you into what it is we're doing here, and then I'm gonna really play with your brain, you know what I mean? And that's what like Doc does, you know what I mean, in particular with his so-called sex cult, right? But it's when they
Yeah.
talk about the second husband himself, and all I'll say though, there's a moment that shocked me, and it
Yeah.
just got dark so fast, but and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wow, like that
Yeah.
that really
This,
impacted
this,
me, but like
yeah.
Jesus,
This was the moment that it got legit dark for a point there. Like it was, oh shit! Everything is all fun and games until right.
yeah.
They frame it through a character who's I forget his guy. He was the informant, I think, and
Well,
apparently
yeah,
he saw
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
he
At first, he was working. No, actually, it was a guy who was working on. 'Cause we brought it up at the beginning, but we just had to bring it up here again. Well, the political campaign that Joe was on, because he
campaign
just
manager,
wake
right?
up and
Yeah,
figure, hey, I want to be, I want to run for president, and well, of course,
right.
that fell flat. So you know what? Now I want to be governor of Oklahoma, right? So he was the guy who was on board there now. But then there was another guy who was working along with Joe that will become the informant, I believe, is for the FBI to pretty much bring down Joe.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, by that particular moment, boy, wow,
Yeah, pretty
wow.
dark.
But
Yeah, pretty dark.
and yes, as you mentioned, American Crime Story, the last couple of episodes, I should say, the last episode kind of plays out like it more remind me of like OG Made in America because you get the courtroom
Right,
drama stuff. You know, what I mean, everybody
right.
coming to court, see what they had to say, and people kind of saying, "Oh, well, this really did happen," or they used this to get back at him because of all the allegations with him mistreating animals and that kind of stuff. Which, yeah, make perfect sense. Like, why not, right? If
Yeah,
you want to bring down something like Tiger King, let me just like strip away everything and let me just reveal all the darkness underneath it. Like let me just really hit it where it hurts. And
yeah,
about that though, before we get to read it here, or last words I should say, this is where like I was reading up online, some people sided with Joe after the release of this
yes.
docu-series. Like,
As,
well,
as I
yeah, you
say,
got screwed
it does.
over, man. You know what I mean? Like, dog, you don't deserve to be in jail, man. You know what I mean?
No, it does. It does frame him as somewhat the victim coming down to the end. There, I think so because the guy, I forget the guy who was his assistant, the guy who didn't have his legs.
Oh, you're right, right. There was a guy who was working with him who did have his
Right,
legs.
right.
Who
That
yeah,
dude insists that the murder for hire was bullshit, but the everything else was guilty. But they still kind of, as Joe put it, Joe saying no, it's not a euthanasia thing. Well, the other charges was euthanasia of animals or something along with like illegal euthanasia of animals. That is what it was. So you can't just kill animals just so you have to have this permit, blah 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 blah, whatever it is now. And he just said no, it was euthanasia. That's why he insists. And it's like no, they just murder animals. Like he just outright kill the tiger and them there.
yeah.
And I that's the thing. It's one of those things that the way how they frame the ending is that if well, it a confluence of forces that set him up in that sense, and the fella keep insisting that it's bullshit now. So I
Yeah.
that's why I could why a lot of people take Joe's side coming down to the end here because yeah, the real boss Joe through to the end there.
Oh my god, it did, but like I legit felt
Yeah,
sorry for him, you know. Like at
yeah,
first you're
yeah.
laughing at him, he's so funny and weird and whatnot.
Exactly.
Like funny haha, right? And then afterwards,
Right.
like, yeah, you kind of scummy, like, and especially like in the earlier episodes where he going so hard at trying to bring down Carol, and it's like, dog, like,
Right.
oh, no wonder Carol like real shitting you up, Dre. Like, look at you, Dre. You know what I mean? But then they
Exactly.
dropped the two episodes. Like, okay, now see why he hates her so much. And then
Right.
I really love how the show really makes you kind of split between like liking Joe or hating him. So in my case,
Right.
I was somewhere in the middle. I'm in the middle pretty much with her. With him
Well,
and Carol.
Joe,
You know what I mean?
yeah, the thing with Joe, like to me, most of it is really the animal activism stuff. Like if you're not an animal activist and the way how it's framed as if you can't not be in this, because like, I mean, come on. But if you're not animal activist, then it's not a big deal. Like Joe hasn't done the worst thing ever. But if you are, then he's like the worst person ever. And they do frame it through the eyes of Peter, for example, or and well, in the case of Carol herself and all the work she did and her relations. And then the postscript of it, I would like to see what they're going for because apparently Joe is on the side of the animal activists, right? Which is
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. Which makes sense. Like, oh, you want to bring me down? I take it all. You're with me. Make
Right,
perfect
right,
sense. It's human nature. It's human nature. And
right.
speaking of human nature, just one last thing I want to say before we get to read it here. There's one line, Jed. Well, once again, I don't want to paraphrase it. That just perfectly and powerfully sums up this whole show. All this fighting, all this bickering, all this back and forth, all this money being spent on trying to bring down this person or investigating that person. What about the animals?
Right. But
What about the animals? And when they
yeah,
dropped that,
exactly.
I
They
was
got
like,
that.
yeah, this is exactly what this show is about. This is
Yeah,
the message of this whole show. Trey. Like all of this. And what about the animals you try to protect, dog? What about
exactly.
them? Yeah,
At the end, because at the end they make the framework of what Joe was back in the days, back in the 90s when he first started. He was like, yeah, he was. It was all about them, and he just kind of lose his way there, money
yeah, because
making.
yeah,
And,
money and fame and just
right.
ego, because that's a big thing. It's just about
Yeah.
overinflated egos and how that just destroy, many not just the life of the person, but just everybody around you. You know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so it sure do just to get to read it here. I dug the hell out of this. This is hands down probably one of the best documentaries I've seen for the year. This is
Yeah.
close, but not exactly up there. But I would actually put it like up there, but that top top top. Like with OG Me in America.
Right.
best documentary in the decade, Jen. But because this one had a more comical tone, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like a step down now. But while I was watching this thing, it felt like, like this is like a Coen Brothers, Adam McKay, Martin Scorsese kind of film, Jen, where you just seeing the rise of a character doing bad things or just being an asshole, and then just see that slow meteoric, drop now, and then
Right.
you start to sympathize with the person, and then just really feel sorry for them, but at the same time, just be like, yeah, boy, like I know you deserve this, but my God, like you didn't deserve all of that, you know what I mean? So yeah, boy, it kind of left me like that. That just feel like, yeah, boy, you didn't have to
Yeah.
do Joe like that, like you didn't have
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
like that. Come on, right?
Exactly.
Um, it's even to the point that while I read this right now, even we Gil Cardi B and all,
Right.
say she want to start a GoFundMe account to
Right. Well,
free
right. So I heard
free
right. So
Joe.
I heard a couple things. One, somebody, yeah, they had I think it's one of those things to one of those online petitions to get Donald Trump to pardon him, um, which is hilarious and could totally happen.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it could.
right. And then two, yeah, Cardi B. That's the Cardi B story I saw as well. She's like, yeah, they had to pull Joe out because he get pretty much all cases. It was all like full guilt.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
And
Right.
that's just just briefly to talk about her, right? I could see her just hated the hell out of Carol, boy. I
For
could
real.
just see her just watching. She like, you fucking bitch. Like, I could just see that. I could just see that. Like she watching, see she at home, sorry, watching Netflix, and every time Carol come on screen, she just like cussing her out there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, this, and even if you're not into documentaries, Red, it's just such a entertaining true life story where, like I say, it's just something
Yeah.
you cannot make up. It is so baffling and bizarre and shocking and weird, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? This is like the American dream personified in, like, a field that you wouldn't even see stuff like this happen, like, murder for hire with cat lovers, with people who own zoos and stuff like that. Like, what, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I had a blast with this. I actually want to rewatch this. Not saying because of what's going on I'll have a lot of free time and I'm actually gonna do it. But yeah, this is one that I really need to rewatch by years, and if at least. So I go in high with this one. I give it this a strong 4.5 out of 5. This is an absolute must see. Uh, I will say though, if you there is some slight disturbing content involving animals. So if you're the type who just can't watch, animals being mistreated or being in cages and stuff like that, or hearing about animals being mistreated, then I would say approach this one with caution. But if
Right.
you just want to see this really weird story that, like I say, is too good to be true, then yeah, by all means check this out. And I mean, it's on Netflix. It's 7 episodes. Each one clocks at about 45 minutes roughly. So this is roughly like about a 5 hour binge if you want to binge it. I actually checked binge it yesterday time was recording here, and I was just enjoying
Right.
every minute of it. So yeah, don't skip out on Tiger King. What's your
Yeah.
last words and rating on this one?
Yeah. As I said, it's I put it up there with Making Our Murderer. It's just a great story bouncing around, nowhere near as dark as that, but still this whole how to really give you a super complex situation and how everybody not nice in the situation and whatnot. And it does frame certain characters better than others, obviously, and some characters more sympathetic than others. But it's still, I think it feels still workably balanced in terms of what it was the story it was trying to tell, and how the focus was. The filmmakers themselves was kind of brilliant. I mean, they really did a good job of telling this story, framing things,
Yes, they did, yeah.
balance of all styles of documentary, talking head, narration, and everything in it. Like they just make it really work, flowed well, perfect timing, legit hilarious, but dark and
Even a bit of reenactments here or there too, which work here.
yeah. Yeah, and I can't be mad at this. I give it like an extra perfect score, like a 9 out of 10. I can't be because it just flows so well and just tells a story. It's legit goofy and hilarious on its own. Like it had that part where they show the guy on the jet ski in slow motion at the end
Yeah,
because
and
he's
the
like,
song that
right,
it shows for this,
yeah,
we don't want to
yeah,
say what it is, but the song it shows fit. Like
yeah,
at first I was like, you could have played this at any other time in the show, But at that moment I was like, yeah, this work. And when I heard it, I was like, yeah, why did it play this earlier? You know what I mean? But
Right.
it worked. It worked perfectly, yeah? Given the
Yeah, yeah.
context. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really funny and well done. And I really want to see what they're going to do with it. In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
I want to see what
Let's
going forward.
sorry, what?
No, I want to see if what it'll do going forward because they had to bring up that fella. He have some issues and they say they're going after he just now.
Oh
But
yeah,
the
Jeff.
FBI.
Yeah, Jeff. Jeff can't get
Right.
away just so. He can't get away just
Right.
so.
Yeah, they mentioned it's only the beginning kind of thing. That's like, all right, cool. Let me see what they're going to do with her.
Yeah. But last things last, so I hear any talk that we could get a movie out of this, which I am down for. I
Right.
would love to see, Hollywood do their own take on this. I already call it, 4 directors, the Coen brothers, Adam McKay, and Martin
Right.
Scorsese. I hear they
Right.
want to cast Keith McKinnon to play Carol. I was like,
Right.
yeah, that could work. That could
Right.
totally work. I just love her and just the way how she plays these quirky characters on Saturday Night Live anyway. She's a perfect fit. But yeah, I would love to see like Hollywood do a take of this. But I know they will have to skip over stuff and shorten things down. That's why I call Al McKay and Matt Scorsese. They could do those montage scenes perfectly.
Yeah. Right. As I said, I would just don't need a movie, but I would like to see a American crime story. Because it looked like a lot to tell. So that is that.
Yeah. I actually wouldn't mind seeing a American crime story after that too. Well, come to think of it, we haven't seen one in a long while. I think the last one was on Gianni Versace or something like that.
Right.
I think.
Which I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that as well. I mean, I love the OG one, but I haven't seen the Versace one yet. But yeah, folks, like we said, Tiger King is a real deal. Check it out. Yeah. Actually, go check out his music videos afterwards, especially Here Kitty Kitty, because awesome.
Right.
The one where he says, I saw a tiger song, which has a great hook.
Right.
I saw a tiger, and the tiger saw man. Like, oh my gosh, you just can't make this up, guys. You just can't make this up. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, though, check it out. It's the real deal. It's worth the hype. Don't skip out on Tiger King.
Yeah.